What's up everyone, Street Skier 95 here. Today we're at Edouard-Montpetit High School in Montreal. We're at this famous rail-to-rail that's been hit a bunch over the years. And today we're gonna go through everything that went down on this rail. So the first skier to hit this rail was Guillaume Labreche in 2002. He did lip on from outside of the stairs, switch out. And then 2 clips later, he basically dies. Then it took a few years before other skiers came to hit the rail. In 2007, Laurent-Olivier Martin did switch out and front to 70 out. And Antoine Gagné did lip on, switch up to switch, and lip on, tail press on the second down, both in the same sesh. Tanks at your door with generals with swords, compliments of the Lord, and you can meet him, boy. I'm a veteran, destroy, sink a battleship, deploy on my... There's a bunch of other skiers that did front to 70 out. Dom Racine, Éric Pelletier, Charles Généreux, Georges Perron, Richard Carl, and Cédric TF. Max Dufresne, Frank Raymond, and Fred Choquette all did blind to 70 out. Putting words together, hoping that y'all feel something. Trying to put that pride back into the black music. You can clap. One clip that I think is pretty funny is Charles Généreux also did front swap to forward, and he lands and the landing is just pure ice. So Frank Raymond did lip on to forward. He also did front swap Preds 2. The full clip was never released, it's only in the trailer of Every Day is a Saturday. The same year, Cédric TF also did front swap Preds 2. And then a few years later, Matt Rich and Vince Sautier also did front swap Preds 2. Alex Bellemare did both ways front swap Preds 2 on each rail. And then Marc Dandurand did unnatural lip slide front swap Preds 2. Cédric TF also did K-Fed on this rail, and a couple years later, Jérémy Bellemare did K-Fed. Plus I got my team strong, crushing these competitors and rushing with my exquisiteness versus poetry. And Marc Dandurand did unnatural lip slide to K-Fed. So the main reason this rail became legendary is in 2009 it was featured in Refresh by Level 1. Houle, B-Dog, and Henrik Harlaut came to this rail and pretty much shut it down. So Henrik did front swap to switch at the end of the rail. They said I'm wildin', plus I'm from the island. He also did unnatural front swap back to 70 out. The stash, cause they know about the stash. Now I'm like swallow these, up in the bags. In the bags, yeah, sewn up in the bags. I do my chicks like Houle is the only one to have hit this rail switch. He did switch tails on, switch out. Canadian cream with Scandinavians, Palladium style. Play it like 32 Arabians. The greatest lesson is don't owe, you might get. And then B-Dog put the nail in the coffin, 270 on, switch out. And 270 on, pretzel 270 out. My favorite trick to go down here. So in 2009, there's two skiers that were the first to do 270 on onto this rail. We've already mentioned B-Dog, but there's also Laurent-Olivier Martin, who did 270 on, front 270 out. Crazy to think that these guys did those tricks 15 years ago. There's also Jérémy Bellemare, who did 270 on, 270 out. And he also did back swap front 2, pretty underrated trick. So we've talked about Alex Bellemare earlier, but one trick we haven't mentioned yet is he did 270 on, switch up, Preds 270 out, banger clip. Sam Beauchesne did 270 on, front swap to switch. Matt Rich did double front swap to switch. And front swap, front 4, only guy to do a front 4 out of this rail. Grégoire Berneche is the only skier to have hit this rail during the summer. Cédric Desprez was the first skier to do early switch up on this rail. He did unnatural, early front swap, hop over the gap, front 270 out. And then a few years later, I did unnatural front swap, hop the gap, back 270 out. So there used to be two down rails here. Alex Bellemare did some lines here. He did unnatural lip slide on the down rail, then lip on, blind 270 out. I need a lick. I drink about it since I was a kid. Nigga on lit, how can I miss? Came from the bottom and got me a check. And lip on, front swap, switch out. Cause I'm living off that punk rock shit, yeah. Think about each other. Then we went for. I was also there that day and I slid the first rail and then slid the second one unnatural and did back 270 out. So I came back here a few weeks later after hitting it with Bellemare and both rails were broken. So thank God we got to do some lines here. So the last tricks to have gone down here are from Matt Dufresne in 2022. He did back swap, front swap, Preds 2 and front swap, back swap, Preds 2. Some crazy ass shit. C'est un rappeur qui est devenu le narrateur d'une génération qui s'ennuie à mort. J'ai voulu voler trop près du soleil, brûler ma plume, j'ai perdu sommeil. Monter le podium à pas de géant, mais le néant est un faux pas du sommet. So we've covered every ski trick that has gone down here. There's a few rollerblade tricks that are pretty sick that went down. Kaya Turski, former pro skier, hit this rail on rollerblades. I don't really know trick names in rollerblade, but Jason Segaleski did sort of a 270 on switch up. And John Bergeron did transfer switch up from one rail to the other. Fun fact, there's an old photo of Yannick Bay, former pro skier, that hits the rail that used to be here on rollerblades. There's also Nicky Adams, former pro rollerblader and pro skier, that did a line. So how to get speed for this rail? The easiest way, if you're lazy, is to pull through the parking lot. If not, you can build a little snow drop-in, or if you want even more speed, you can bring your drop-in ramp. Alright, so let's take the measurements of the rail. The rail is 2 feet 9 inches tall. So the first part of the rail is 16 feet 4 inches long. So the length of the gap is 2 feet 5 inches. The length of the second rail is 14 feet 7 inches and a half. So the stair count, we've got 16 stairs, 8 flat 8. So the total length of both rail is 30 feet 11 and a half inches. And including the gap, the total length is 33 feet and 4.5 inches. So that's gonna wrap up today's video. Let me know in the comments if I forgot any tricks and what's your favorite trick that went down here. And tune in next time for another episode of Street Skiing Spot History.